The combo, it hits again. Kevy, he's done it one more time.
The Chaos Storm! Claire jumps in with the Grand Slam! But in a three-man Moonfall, and it's just lights out for Direwolves, just like that.
The showstopper. Look at the backline. It's getting melted.
Something right now, Sonic Wave is there, it's getting lower and lower. Oh! They've stolen it! Mammoth have got the Baron! It's gonna fall on down, it's just too much damage! Rest in peace!
Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. I'm Mac. Known for big things like being on the LCO and drinking dares a lot. But other than that, you might remember me from other things such as the idiot that makes all the content that does a lot of fun stuff. Anyway, that's me, and you guys are here for the final day of LCO 4 Split 1, and I'm damn excited because that means playoffs are just around the corner. So please join us in all the entertaining fun we're going to be having this afternoon, as well as the final 4 games. Let's see how this ladder plays out, but of course, let's have a look at all those upsets again one more time from yesterday.
Away from a threat of a situation, going to be claimed by Pentanet as they burst into life and find far more kills. They've taken out Draku, and now Braydev is on an absolute killing spree. He's got a triple kill. He's claimed the Guardian Angel.
The question is what happens after?
Fight breaks out, Gin's not here, he's still in the moment of recalling back, but his team is just dead before he can even jump into this one. 2 members found, mid-jump was deleted. Bates also been burnt by the Vex Knife in early depth, but it just knocks him out. Oh, what a clutch! Clutch Devour! Oh, he's been sniped away by the Moonlight Vigil. Now he finishes with the red and white. He's got the bounty, he's got the damage, and he's got another shutdown. Tron jumps in, 1v4, saying, can I copy-paste what an Aatrox can do? The answer is no. Triple kill for Limes. Voice is dead!
This is Biopanther.
Oh! In they go! Oh, look at the assassination of the Corporal! Gone! The patience! And the perseverance finally playing off. Look at Tryndamere, spin to win, flashing in, trying to take down Frost, and he is successful. Gonna find a second before the ultimate expires.
Absolute day for it. I'm glad you're all here again for another day of the LCO and another Menulog meal time. And joining me today in their fun, fancy, crazy shirts, we got Skimmy, we got Rusty, and we are about to have a damn good time. Rusty, where'd you put your glasses?
If I'm not wearing them, I was wondering why I couldn't see Mac. That's a great idea, actually. I should put them on.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Where are they?
That's what's going on, mate. You look pretty handsome.
How do you find your
there.
glasses when you don't have your glasses on?
Look, I'm just thinking Velma, like, feeling on the ground, like, what's going on, where are they? And look, if you guys want to find out something good, little secret, little Easter egg, so to speak, drop those menu pogs in chat, and you could win yourself a $30 voucher to use on Menulog this afternoon, or I guess whenever you please. But of course, that is going to get you some dinner. That's going to get you some lunch, or whenever you want to use it. You can buy brekkie for dinner. I don't judge. It's okay. Now, speaking of breakfast, boys, talk to me. It's the final day of games. We're in a stadium. We're watching the LCO. All these teams going head-to-head. What are we ordering from the grandstands?
Oh mate, I'm getting a hot dog absolutely in there with it. I'm feeling like all that American right there. You got your your beverages, you've got your feast. You're just chucking it up in the air, aren't you? And yeah, just getting a little bit rowdy with it. So yeah, give me some chips, some hot dogs. We're good to go.
Sounds good. What about you, Rusty? What's the go-to when you go see a game?
Oh, look, I'm a simple man when it comes to big stadium matches or games of any kind in an arena, Mac. I will get some hot chips, and they will usually tide me over till afterwards. Maybe a couple cheeky orange juices.
Cheeky!
I mean. Cheeky orange
Very.
juices. A couple, maybe
sure
6.
That gets the juices flowing for sure. I'm sure it would. Now, I actually, when I think of grandstands, I'm thinking more like old school footy ovals, couple of steak sandwiches, maybe a sausage roll.
Sure.
I don't know, something like that, and you just tomato sauce on the top bar and watch the game. Oh, that's good. If I had sausage rolls on tap Or steak sandwiches on
On
tap. I
tap.
would be so damn.
Sausage roll.
He's just pouring them out.
It's insane, guys. I
Probably
wouldn't
could with the
actually.
filling,
One for the
actually.
ketchup,
To
one
be
for
fair,
that.
you could get the sausage roll filling
you
out
could.
of the tap.
Yeah, you could.
Anyway, maybe that's something. I think I can get those on Menulog. You know, you get to go to the convenience stores as well. So might get myself like a Mrs. Max sausage roll and get myself ready for tonight. Now, speaking of tonight, that is it for Menulog mealtime. I hope you won the $30 voucher, and if you didn't, well, try again in the playoffs because that's going to be it for groups. But let's jump on in and have a look at the standings before, of course, we jump on into something a little bit more fancy. Now, this is where all the teams are currently sitting. Couple of ties on the board. You know, no teams locked into second or fourth just yet. But if all these teams win today, I'm pretty sure Peace have that head-to-head over PGG. And Direwolves now, after yesterday, also have the head-to-head over Order. A little bit of a shift at the bottom of the ladder as well, so good to see Kanga finding that momentum towards the end of the split. And Gravitas with a huge W yesterday as well. So, Rusty, anything to touch on here?
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, right, if all four of the, or, you know, all five of the top five teams win and the standings stay the same, we do still have a defined 1 through 5, right, from the head-to-head like you mentioned. So that is pretty important coming into today, but for Direwolves to stay ahead actually requires them to beat Chiefs, where Order are taking on Mammoth. So there is still some competition there for, you know, being able to finish 5th or 4th, for example.
Very good, and that's exactly what we want to see. And look, we've heard from Rusty, we've heard from all of the big brains on the desk except for Skimmy. So, Skimmy, please share your thoughts with me.
Share my thoughts. Well, I'm feeling really good. Played a TFT game before. Thought I was going to get first. Actually, hard start came second. And I just couldn't get the 2-star Kaiser. And I'm very upset about that one, Max. So that's in the past. I'm out of TFT, and now I'm into the real business.
You can't come into the final day of the split for group stage on a low note, Skimmy. You can't be sad, so give me your best sheesh. Come on, fire up the crowd before we jump on into something fun.
Oh, God.
We'll cancel that really quickly before we blow out some eardrums, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
feeling
mine are
good.
gone. Mine
You've
are
helped me.
absolutely
You've
gone.
helped me a ton, mate. You're a great friend,
On
aren't you?
that note, I'm done with hearing from you because that ruined my hearing for the rest of
Understandable.
the day. But let's hear from a couple of the pros about their thoughts going into the playoffs.
The teams are a lot closer this year. I think it's going to be a lot more like fighting, a lot more closer games. I think it's just going to be like a lot more fun to watch.
Every team is probably expected except Direwolves. I kind of expected Kanga to do a lot better or like contest that spot. I kind of expect Peace to kind of choke, to be honest, and like just flop really early. I kind of just see Chiefs as like the finalists that we probably have to beat.
I think Direwolves are definitely the weakest team in playoffs. I think Order hasn't really shown their true strength yet, in my opinion. I think they've got a pretty strong lineup.
I think Chiefs are just by far the best team right now. I think they have team coordination as well as pretty much the best player in every role. I think it's pretty hard to compare any other team to them right now.
Us and Chiefs are pretty clear mile above the rest. I think that Peace got off to a crazy strong start. Massive props to them. I don't think anyone expected that. But I think now it comes to the point where player experience and like veteran experience really takes over.
The whole seeding, it really doesn't matter. It just comes down to the best of fives and who shows up and who puts enough effort and practice in. So for me, it's just preparation because we already know the teams that we're versing. So we just have to make sure that our drafts and how we want to play against these teams are like 100%.
I do think PGG also have a very good shot. I think Winterer has like impressed me a lot this year. I think he's actually like really underrated. I actually think he's one of the stronger top laners in the region. So I actually think PGG might be able to contest for first place, in my opinion.
The other 4 teams, to see who will make it to the final, all of them are really, really close. I think there's Chiefs and then there's a gap, and then the 4 teams beneath them are very, very close in skill. So I think watching those teams try and play it out to see who plays against Chiefs at the end is pretty exciting.
Best of fives for us is like the chance to really show that we can contest these teams and really are worthy of like the top spot.
Always good to get that insight from the pros' perspective. Thanks to Circle's Life, of course, for getting that done. Now, of course, we got to have a look at the games we're going to be seeing for the final day of the group stage here. So let's have a quick gaze at the standings before, of course, we jump on into the games and we jump on into the fun. So, Chiefs and Direwolves. I'm actually picking this as potentially game of the day because Chiefs, they copped their second L yesterday after PGG played out of their mind, and Direwolves, they are looking hot as well, so who knows how that one's going to go. Of course, second game of the night is going to be Mammoth and Order. We got Grav and PGG, which could be interesting after Grav got the dub over Peace yesterday. There was all these upsets bloody happening left, right, and center, and of course, to round out the day, we got Kanga, we got Peace looking to go blow for blow, toe for toe, and I believe last time we checked in on this, was it Kangaroos? They beat Dragons? Or was that Mammoths? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, they're 1-1, Mac. Yes, that's another spicy one.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Because Kanga are not in the playoffs. But look, there was a world where it could have got spicy, Skimmy.
Yeah, certainly could. I feel like you hit the nail on the head. First game and last game for me certainly have upset potential. Teams, one in the playoffs, one out of it, but up against some of the heavy hitters going into that playoff round. So certainly could cause a few stirs. And I'm excited to see if we do get sort of a return of, I don't know, mental mind games of, hey, you know, we came sixth, but we're out here, you know, beating you. So should be a good way to go out.
Certainly is. Now, Rusty, I'm not going to let you touch on the games, but I'm going to let you try to find your glasses because you're going to need them. We're going to have a look at a couple of splash arts here, the changes, how they've changed over time from like the initial ones, the original ones back in the day, to where they are now. So let's bring up Ash's one to have a quick look at as well. A bit of an art segment, so to speak. So,
Jesus.
Majestic, isn't it?
what do we prefer?
Not the first
No,
one.
it's definitely the second one on this occasion.
Holy cow.
What a difference, hey.
I thought Skimmy would be all over that low poly look. Not
There's
sure- not
definitely
sure
some
why.
nostalgia.
True.
There's definitely some nostalgia associated with some of these, but on this occasion, I do like the.
But
new
everything is so much more powerful about the second one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Even the pose, it's badass. Like,
The first one feels
just,
like year
how you
11
going?
art class, you know? Like, that's kind of the project you've been working on
Yeah,
all
Second one's how it feels.
I want to say
2-5
season,
jump.
but it's not even season. It's a term, isn't it, at school? So, yeah.
It's just, I like the color scheme. I like that carried across, and of course, you know, the updated graphics, so to speak. Now, I'm guessing that, you know, this one is a pretty good comparison, but let's have a look at Galio because, you know, he's been around for a little time as well, and, oh, hey, what? I haven't seen this.
What's
That
a
is
glow up?
that is a glow up and a half.
I feel like he gained about 60 foot of size. Just from perspective of the artwork, you know?
10 years of gameplay, and he's been bulking hard.
He's
like a
just been
hand
on that dirty bulk, eating boulders for bloody years. He's put on some mass, put on some size.
So good.
Oh, absolute. Look at him.
It's actually like the difference between the champions in design as well is unbelievable. Like they've actually done really well to make Galio feel bigger. Where like the original one was just, it was chucking out a couple of like pulses and stuff here and there. It was tiny, even though it was meant to be quite large in the lore.
Was there a significant change in like the abilities with the splash art changes?
Literally all of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's almost completely different now.
All right, crazy. I'll have to go and like look at old school Galio, but for now, let's have a quick peek in at Nunu. See how he's changed over time.
I love old Nunu.
Oh yes, he's like big old monkey looking thing. He changed heaps.
Yeah, look, I love that because I mean, if you imagine Renata with her bailout, her W, the sort of the steroid that it gives, that used to be Nunu. You used to have Nunu support. That was pretty fun. I actually have the Taipei Assassin World skin for this one, and I always play that one when they got that Worlds upset. So I like the old school.
Is it a abominable snow? No, what are they called?
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah,
Abominable? Abominable?
No, there's another word.
It's a trash word.
What's the
isn't
other
it?
word for abominable snowman?
Abominable.
Yeti? Yet,
Abominable.
maybe? Yeah, I think Yeti's the one I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
Yeti.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeti is the other word.
Yeah, okay. So is Yeti. Anyway, look, let's move on. I think
Sorry, I'm just stuck on abominable. What a word.
A bit abominable, you know.
Anemone.
Look, we got another one. Let's move on from terrible words to say. We got Soraka. Have a quick gaze at what's going on over here. And, speaking of glow ups, that's beautiful on the right side. I don't know so much. Left's a little janky.
What is that pose?
It's terrible.
Oh, so good.
Her legs and everything have changed. Like her knees
they're
used
still
to go
hooves.
backwards, and she got more humanified in the right one, surely.
Abominable.
Abominable.
On the left.
That's word of the day.
That is like, what is the... You know the people, fortune teller. That's almost like a fortune teller on the left. You know what I mean? Like, just evil demonic fortune teller vibes.
Yeah, but with the legs of the guy who's the little goat man from Hercules.
Chiron? No, no, sorry, not that one. The tiny one.
The little one, yeah. Bro,
I
I'm
don't
thinking
know
like
his name.
Disney Hercules. Though.
Yeah.
Can't remember his
Sorry,
name.
I was thinking of the mythology.
Is it Phil? I think his name is Phil. I can't remember what he is.
He's
though.
just Jeff.
Yeah, let's call it
Steve.
Jeff. Why not? Anyway, look, that's it for the splash arts. We're going to jump on into something more fun, something that you guys at home might have had a little bit of fun with. And while we get to the end of the groups, which means I can start to total up all these points because it is time for the LCO Champion Conundrum.
Is today the day luck's with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
It was such a fun time. We've had so much fun doing these all split. And, you know, we missed Kitty last one. We made it fair for you guys, and you still managed to nail it. But today I think it's a little more spicy. So we're going to bring Kitty back on in for today's LCO Champion Conundrum. Now, of course, it's going to be sound bites again. You guys seem to like that. I think there's a bit of spice on today's sounds, though. So, you know, keep an ear out, and we'll see what's different.
You get my invitation to visit? No, cause there ain't one.
That has to be a skin.
Pentakill Karthus?
Are we jumping
No.
into skin sound
I
lines
can
already?
point you straight to the top lane, out of the meta at the moment.
I'm sorry, that was... Okay, so that's
that
a
Kled?
quote from a
That
champion?
was Kled. Congratulations, Skimmy.
What?
Points already. Absolutely
Oh my
beautiful.
god, no glasses, buff.
Wow.
No
Wait,
glasses.
what?
What?
What? That's me. I'm nerfed.
Oh, right. Skimmy doesn't wear glasses. But look,
Oh, wait, sorry, Rusty.
He's like, that's cool, bro. Just flame
Kitty,
me.
you
eh?"
go into
I'll hold the L, don't worry.
Well, all right. Well, look, Skimmy, you beat Kitty, so that's a great start. Now we have 6 more of these to get through, so we'll
That's going
run
straight on
on
the CV, Mac.
to the second one.
Let's get this party started.
I've heard that one.
What?
Zach? No, it's not Zach.
Are these all base champions?
This one's base champion. It's not Zach though. Again, it's someone from the top lane. This time more in the meta.
Get this party started.
Gragas?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Nailed it, Kitty.
Did you guys do something to the voices?
That doesn't sound like Gragas.
You
Are
guys
sure?
are cheeky.
I thought it sounded heaps like Gragas personally.
He does sound a little bit haze, doesn't he? Yeah.
Okay, well let's jump on into the
That
third.
doesn't sound like Gragas, right?
We'll see if the third is easier.
Our opponents are ready for a fight. Perfect!
Ezreal?
I'll finally get to go all out.
It has to be Ezreal.
That's
yeah.
Ezreal. There you go.
I like how you said Ezreal and then he's like, perfect. I'm like, oh my god, he hears you?
How good's that, huh? That's great. Skimmy absolutely nailing it today. Rusty, a little bit slow
Are
on the
these
pickup.
old champion voice lines?
No, I think they're fresh out of the oven, honestly.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, we're doing reworked voice lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I don't know. You'll pick up on it eventually. Now we have a fourth one to have a listen to. Let's see if you can get one, Rusty.
The rules hold you back. Leave them for someone who needs them.
I don't have voice lines enabled, by the way.
I don't know
So-
either. But
I muted
but I
it 'cause
still
they always
know
get
what this one
spammed.
is.
Who would be a rule breaker?
Echo?
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
This
though.
one is a female.
What?
Play it again.
Kitty's like,
Play it
"Bruh."
again.
The rules hold you back. Leave them for someone who needs them.
We got a voice actor today to do a couple of these, I think. That's what's going on. So it's not the original voice actors. Got to listen to the words more so than the...
Well, I mean, is it like Fiora then?
No, but it is top/mid laner. We've seen a lot of it earlier on in the split.
Like Aurelia?
Nah.
Rules or something. What did it say
The
again?
rules hold you back. It has to be a teenager. Because the rules hold you
Oriana.
back.
No. He's a badass.
The rules hold you back. Leave them for someone who needs them.
Okay, AP champ.
Lysandra.
Nah.
It can't be. I can't. LeBlanc?
Nah, bit jumps around a little when after abilities hit.
Camille?
Nah, like big long jumps. Lots of outplay
Zeri?
potential. Nah,
Wait,
big,
Zoe?
big cloud on
No,
the ground sometimes.
Zeri, Zoe,
Goes invisible.
Cloud, Akali.
Yes.
Bro,
That's
that's
Akali?
not Akali.
No,
That's an
dude.
Akali voice line.
That's not
No,
Akali.
dude.
It is.
No, we're being tricked somehow.
I'm
No,
looking
I
this
don't-
up live. Akali voice
Someone
lines. Let's see.
auto-tuned that voice. That is not my girl. Come on, guys. That's like Akali's cousin or something.
Anyway, let's jump on into
It's
voice line
true,
number
it is.
number 5.
Wow.
Death
Wow.
is not the end for you. I have seen to it for eternity. You are mine.
Did you voice that, Mac?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe they're all me. Who knows?
I wanted to say Warwick, but I don't think it is.
It is. This one I think was a skin line.
Oh.
Think top lane. Could flex jungle.
Mundo.
Nah. The skin's the One sec, I'll find it for you. Or you keep guessing. Play it again for him. You know. Think.
I'm
Death
thinking.
is not the end for you. I have seen to it for eternity. You are mine.
It's a,
Is that Mordekaiser or
it's a
something?
dark star skin.
Thresh.
Cho'Gath?
Yes, Kitty. Congratulations.
Cho'Gath talks?
That's what Chogga sounds like?
These
Wow.
are all skins, right? Like, they're none of them
a
have been.
couple are. Some have been base skin.
This is
Oh,
hard, man.
I think
Something really
Gragas's one's
cool.
base skin.
about the Cho'Gath skin wasn't a fundraiser skin, so that's pretty cool.
Was it the Dark Star
Yeah.
one?
It was a fundraising skin.
Oh, there you go. I think we have 2 more, maybe 3 more. I can't count. 2 more. Beautiful. 2 more. So have a listen to this
Here
one.
we go.
Keep your
the hardest part of our day.
close, and me closer.
That sounds so different.
I don't know, man.
Misfortune.
I've got a voice. You know, I'm just a big dumb idiot. It's not me.
Wait, is that Vi?
Listen.
Keep your enemies close, and me closer.
What has a lisp?
Who has a...
What has a lisp?
Her voice is so bizarre.
Mid laner. Meta at the moment.
Cassandra.
Yes. Oh wait, no.
No? No?
No.
It's very flirty,
Wait,
isn't it? Or like punchy, like Vi, like you said. So
Yeah, that's what I thought originally, but
What did you say, Skimmy?
I said Lysandra?
Oh,
No, okay. Just bait me twice, eh?
you half baited me. I think you said it different the first time.
well, that's just Syndra then, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Think animal.
Cassiopeia?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, she has a lisp?
Since
I think-
when does
I think-
Cassiopeia have a lisp?
I think the voice actor probably just slid a lisp in there. To try
Which,
sound
to
more
be
feminine or
fair, it's a
something.
snake. Isn't that the one letter they're
True.
meant to say? How'd they lose the letter S? It's a snake, bro.
I don't know. I think they're just.
That's
they're
kind of
bad.
upsetting if that's real.
That's anyway.
My day is ruined.
Sorry,
A little bit
I'll
miffed.
have to tell. I'll give that feedback to the voice actor. Now we have one
Yeah.
final sound for you guys to guess.
Sometimes icy hot just needs a warm smile.
This sounds so familiar.
I don't know what that is, and it's amazing.
I need to stop playing music and listen to the game, or hey,
Go again.
far
Go again.
out.
Sometimes icy hot just needs a warm smile.
It's Brom. It's Brom. It's
Yes,
Brom. It's
Kitty.
Brom. It's
Oh, look
Dude,
at that.
what have you done to the voice
5.
lines?
How?
Nailed it. 5 points for Kitty. Again, huge performance. Congratulations, Kitty.
Thank
what
you,
a
thank you.
great LCO
Unreal.
champion conundrum that was.
Unreal.
What happened to Brom's voice?
I don't,
was that-
I don't
what
know.
skin was
I think
He
everything
lost the
sounded
door.
perfect, honestly. Kitty, we're going to send you back to the sidelines to get ready for the interview. But
Bye-bye.
congratulations on big dubs. So, you know, oh, bye.
The segment's never fair with her on, eh? Well, actually, to be honest, it is, because she just high carries us before it becomes awkward.
We needed her today.
I think you
Yeah.
definitely needed it today. Now,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
now that one's out
It'd be good
of
to know
the
what
way,
the trick was.
we are going to be skipping a couple of things, but we've got to get into the fun stuff, get into the game. So let's talk Chiefs first for this first matchup. Skimmy, talk to me, my friend. Tell me what they've got to get this W today and how they're going to beat Direwolves.
Yeah, but the Chiefs going to come into this one. They would have loved to finish here with a 16 win streak, but that was dismantled last night by Pentanet. They'll be coming into this one still the favourites, still the team to take it all. The stats across all 9 weeks to really bolster that. So I think really, pound for pound, they are best in roles. So just continue doing what they've done best. Maybe it is that classic angry gaming response to go out on a high.
Now let's have a quick look at Direwolves as well, Rusty, and tell me what kind of momentum they're going to be carrying into this game. Is it just going to be a test to sort of show if they're ready for these playoffs?
I mean, I think this is a really important game for Direwolves just for the lead up to playoffs in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like they do have genuine momentum right now. They look really good. They took down Order yesterday. I'm not going to say absolutely perfect or convincing, but the win was so good from them that you can't help but feel like that carries through to today. And momentum is a real thing in competitive League of Legends. So lots of high hopes for Direwolves.
Now look, so both these teams have had a pretty good run towards the end of the split. And Direwolves, I want to see what they're capable of. I really enjoyed, Goodo's been playing a little bit better. You got that bot lane really starting to fire up since Shinky got there. It seems like the chemistry is just that much better to watch. They just seem to have a better understanding of even just the macro. And when I say chemistry, it's all about that coordination, right? And of course, Kiyose, you can't fault that man. But of course, we could talk about them for days. We could talk about Chiefs for days. And I think yesterday, Chiefs, they had a very good start to the game. It looks like they were answering really well, managing to shut down the key pieces of PGG's game. But then something went awry towards that mid-game, and I think it was just that PGG were hitting the go button and finding their own chemistry. So I think they're looking to bounce back today, Skimmy.
I think so too. And I mean, they're going to be going into a very similar opponent. It's going to be very AD-centric, right? You look at Frost's performance in both games that they've gone up against the Chiefs. He's always done at least 40% of the team's damage overall, so he's a huge component that needs to get ahead early.
Yeah.
One thing that I did notice that was super obscure is Direwolves in both of their games, it's always lasted exactly 24 minutes, and they've only ever managed to pick up one Drake out of everything, be it Heralds, Barons, you name it. They just haven't been able to claim it, so going to be a tall order.
Big ask indeed. Rusty, tell me, what are your thoughts on the Chiefs? Because you didn't get to touch on them yet.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs really was just a blip on the map for them really yesterday. Like, for what it's worth, I think that they had a couple of mishaps in draft, a couple of mishaps in gameplay as well, and PGG just played really well on the day. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Chiefs bounce back with a vengeance, as all of our top teams really enjoy doing on day 2 if they lose in day 1.
It seems to be the case, right? Bit of a slow start to the week, but then a very fast finish. Now, we got Kitty back already with the interview ready.
Hello guys, being the winner of Champion Conundrum, I'm going to bring in another winner from last night, which is Goodo. So Goodo, how are you feeling being first match of the day?
Very confident and not tired. Yesterday we played 9 o'clock. This is like 6 o'clock for Sydney night time. Very good.
That's great to hear. Well, as we come to an end of the regular split, you guys being the dark horses coming into the split because everyone actually put Dials pretty low on their power rankings. How would you reflect on your performance and what goals you've already achieved with Dials so far?
Like obviously our goal is like win for the split one. Like even the like the people say on the prediction like on us like 6th place or something. But they actually like hype us a lot, which is like underdog 5. And when you get pressure, like being rank 4, like rank 3, you've been pressure to like get that goal. But the thing is like we didn't have like nothing to lose. We was like feel free to scale, but like yeah, but that doesn't mean like we just gonna scale. Like at the playoff, we're just aiming to win. Yeah, we just wanna like win.
Hopefully we do see you win against the Chiefs tonight, which is something we're all looking forward to. But let's talk about the current jungle meta. So we've actually seen a lot of Jarvan, Volibear, and Lee Sin in the current patch. Is it because of the Gwen nerf, and how has this actually affected the playstyle in the jungle meta?
I think the Strat nerf was like very huge for jungle, because like you could build Gold Drink or Strat and you could be like super tanky and super strong. But after Strat has been nerfed, I think you could you can't actually like blind Xin Zhao and like J4. Obviously, like there's a Xin Zhao nerf as well. After that, it's all about like tank, I think. But you know, like always they could be a pocket pick. But I think these days, I think like it's all about the tank.
Well, hopefully we do see you play more of those champions because you've been doing so well on them. Well, Goodo, I'm going to let you go and prepare for your match, and best of luck.
Yep, thank you.
No Alt F4. I think that's a pretty good, quote to live by. Stay in the game. Don't leave your team for dead, all right? And look, I'm never going to leave you guys in Twitch chat because, of course, again, I'm going to believe in you today for the Dare fan vote. You've got to get those Twitch predictions in, get those Twitch points up, and pick the right ones. We're so far behind. No fault of my own. It's all you guys. You've been doing my predictions all split, right? Huh? Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Now, Rusty, can you see yet?
Yeah. Just
can?
enough. Just enough.
Just enough? Yeah.
Not well.
Beautiful. Oh, well, hopefully, you can tell me what's going on with the predictions here. Did you choose the right one or did you tick the wrong box? Because it seems like you've gone for the Chiefs.
I think it would be weird if I chose any team that wasn't the Chiefs, even though they lost yesterday. Like, I don't think I would give Direwolves much of a chance just because we know how much class is behind this Chiefs roster. Yeah. As good as Direwolves have been playing, even then, right? It's still just so hard to tip against the Chiefs ever.
That seems to be the case. Skimmy, anything to say? Look, you're tied for first now. Is it just you want to try to copy Kitty's homework? What's going on? Is that the
No. Kitty's copying my homework all split long. It's only when we get to the peace game she goes, I'm going to let you finish, but my bias is kicking in. So, look, yeah, playoffs is around the corner. That's when I'm going to beat her. So then, you can be the champion conundrum, but then I can be the predicting king, I guess. Who knows?
Predicting prince. Let's go
Predicting
with that.
prince. I like that.
Double P's. Kitty,
That's got
do you
a
want
good
to defend
abbreviation
yourself
as well.
on that one, or are you lost for words?
I'm pretty lost for words after I went with Peace twice and they lost to Gravitas twice, so I'm never going to go for Peace ever again. But we're not going to see Gravitas go into playoffs, so, I'm forced to kind of pick Peace when they do play. But in the next regular split,
yes,
who knows?
Let's see how they go, because, of course, Peace isn't in this game. It is going to be Direwolves and Chiefs going head-to-head right now. It's time for Champ Select.
Certainly is, and that does mean we get to figure out what the Chiefs look like when they are ending with a bit of angry gaming. We're well into things here with Direwolves on the left-hand side, locking in the first pick for Goodo. He loves to play that Lee Sin, and then for the Chiefs, instant response back seems to be the Rise.
Could easily be a Volibear if they wanted as well, but this time around it is going to be the Viego, Skimmy. So we see the Korean Lee Sin versus one of the other Korean Lee Sins. With a Hecarim banned as one of the only junglers really there. Another couple of target bans also. It seems like Tally has actually forced the hand of a lot of teams now to get rid of the Zillion and the Veigar, which is significant for draft phase if that really is the case. I still feel like Veigar is a punishable champion. And Zillion has a really solid niche in the meta when Tally gets a good comp to play it. But it's still surprising that those are permabanned, especially against someone like Kyosei, who does have notable champion counters always available for those types of slow scaling control mages.
Yeah, but speaking of Kyosei, right, he's also going to cop a couple of bans, shown a fair bit of respect in the draft with the Syndra, which we have already seen come out to great success before. The Karma, he will play that mid, but he will also default to this Ahri as well. That has always been one of his go-to champs. Certainly has flourished since it's received those buffs.
There's also one of the champions that Tally has looked, I would say, above and beyond the best of, right? Like one of his few very hard carry games was featured on this Ahri. I believe he even got a quad kill in one of the games for the Chiefs. So it looked commanding when he got the pick, but Kyosei has always been touted and known as an Ahri player. And so it comes as no surprise when he's able to lock that one in. I feel like Ezreal being locked in with Karma banned though, Tahm Kench going to be taken away here also. Means it's pretty difficult to find a really good combo bot lane for this Ezreal.
Yeah, it definitely felt a bit like we deviated away from the Caitlyn and the Lux, instead going for the Ezreal Karma as the new variation of just harass and shove for the plates and the priority to do really what you wish. Yuumi has been denied, so if you are going to go for the Tahm Kench, it's not going to make life easy for them. That is obviously another common pairing, Ezreal Yuumi on their head, free scaling, a lot of mobility, a lot of rundown potential.
Can't kill him.
Can't kill him, for sure.
It's not going to be seen. Zaya actually going to be banned here by the side of the Direwolves. I think that's fair when most of your team wants to be going forwards. Perhaps that is an indicator that it is going to be something like a Camille or a Nara in top lane again for Zoranus, which has been looking pretty solid on lately also. I think that is worth pointing out. A tank or an AD champion is the most likely port of call here for Zoranus in top lane. So we'll just keep our eyes on that one as it progresses. For now, I'm most curious about the support that could be banned here by the Chiefs and will be picked by the Direwolves. Lots of questions that need to be answered here for Shinky specifically.
No doubt about it. And yeah, as you say, Soraka removed as well. Definite targeting towards those enchanters. The Zeri also, so certainly making sure that Raze can't be too nimble and can't be too free to exploit any weaknesses. Then obviously protected by the likes of that Devour, which we have seen cause so much havoc, especially in the hands of Dracu. Notable mention as well, last time they did take place, it was that game, right, when Raze broke ankles, forced Kiyose to try and ult underneath the turret. Didn't happen. He got that insane outplay on the Tristana, so they're certainly targeting him, and for good reason.
Ooh, actually would have been low-key here for the Ashe pick, especially when you've got a Tahm Kench there, right? You can be much more aggressive, but they're going to go for the Aphelios. Again, it's Raze. It's one of his most played champions for a reason. Even in an interview, I believe he said with Kitty, if it's up, it's just a free pick, right? If there's no reason to not pick that one, why wouldn't you? And he's always looked very clean on it. So now we await the support pick here for the Direwolves and into the Tahm Kench, a champion that most people would say, Skimmy, is not picked for the laning phase so much as it is for the utility out of lane, into now what is a Tahm Kench that kind of does everything well. It feels a little bit like we just have a stronger bottom lane from the Chiefs, full stop.
Seems to be that way. We did see the Renata get played into a Tahm Kench before. That was in that Pentanet game. And the ult came across, zoned them all away, made it very hard for the Devoured to try and connect. So interested to see how this one does fare as well. We did see a few Nasus hovers. Must be someone they've seen between one another. But the final pick's going to come out here. Gragas locked in. This has really been a default for Zoranus if in doubt. Played at least 5 games of it in his last 8. So certainly feeling comfortable on that one. As for Tapoon, he's taking his time, but ultimately settles with that Nah.
I think that last second switch was Dragku's doing, not Tapoon. I think Nah was what he wanted all along. So they will be able to lock that one down. Tapoon, I would say the best Nah player in OS, has been for a while. When he left to go to North America and compete over there in the Academy Leagues, was probably still the best Nah from Oceania. So he's back with a vengeance. The Viego also, in competitive, I really am a fan of Viego. Not so much for what the Viego itself provides, more so that if your opponents make mistakes, he is one of the most impactful champions to pick up on those mistakes and punish, right? Like the fact that he has those resets, gets multiple abilities out when he becomes champions. It's very difficult to deal with and requires very good play all the time, right? You can't make those mistakes where you've got a Nah, you've got a Rise, you've got a Tahm Kench that can punish errors very successfully and work with that Viego to get it done. Good mixed damage as well. Just a little bit, you know what, I think that team fighting is fine. It's just not as straightforward, you know, R-button composition. Just a little bit harder on the execution, where on Direwolves' side, still going towards the pick path, you would have to say. More than anything else, with some potential, right, for some, you know, Ezreal outranging or some pick from an Ahri to kick off a team fight in the first place.
Well, essentially everybody on Direwolves has the potential to, find that pick, break apart the fight. They could be using that to engage, to go forward, to disengage, to try and prevent Chiefs coming at them. And I think that then touches back full circle into the point that you mentioned about the Viego. Chiefs want to be skirmish heavy. They want to entertain the idea of taking those trades, taking those mechanical checks, and Viego, certainly if you can claim those souls, can find the resets and can find infinite value in this situation.
I think the difference is how they operate in those skirmishes, because you're right, they want skirmishes. Both teams very happy to have them. It's just that I think Direwolves want to actually either make the pick first or use their abilities to disengage the initial play, right, and just continue to harass and poke. And it's a Gragas Lee Sin comp. We've seen it successfully done by teams like Peace, right? Those two of Appy and Lisa put in some crazy work on these champions. But for me, it's finesse, right? There is an insane amount of finesse required for Direwolves to operate perfectly and succeed. Ahri is embedded in skill shots, especially if it's a Luden's build. There's no Everfrost setup. Ezreal is entirely skill shots. Renata Glass throws the ultimate, and you know you can actually put an hourglass timer on before it actually hits you. Impactful if it does. Yeah. And then Lee Sin Gragas, right? You've got constantly high mechanics required to be perfect on those champions.
Could be the difference maker, right? We have seen what happens when the hostile takeover comes across and you've got a lot of fed champions. They can certainly have a bit of fun amongst themselves. Here we go, though, kicking off what is the final day of the group stage with the first game out of 4. Direwolves here with a 10-10 record, looking ever so clean on the scoreboard. And Chiefs having suffered only their second loss this split, still looking like the clear favourites today. Let's check in with the coach as we actually get a chance to speak with Alexis on the line from the side of Direwolves. I have to ask, Alexis, I mean, does this just feel like the perfect week for practice? Order last night, now up against the Chiefs.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a pretty good week for sure, going into our first playoffs for all the boys. It was a bit disappointing though last night to hear that Order didn't really respect us as a team. That was pretty disappointing, not gonna lie.
Oh, how so in that regard?
Just Biopanther, Corporal before the game, like they just had this like cockiness coming into the game that I think was like a bit disrespectful. Our players have put in the work; they've improved a ridiculous amount throughout the split. So yeah, it was a bit awkward, and then we beat them. So unlucky.
Yeah, ultimately egg on their face, right? Well, coming into this one, me and Rusty talked a little bit about sort of the differences as well as the similarities in both your comps. There's a lot of comfort, no doubt about it, with what you've locked in, but there is a big dependence on hitting those skill shots. So it's just going to be a mechanical masterclass.
Yeah, for sure. It is hard to execute for sure, but our players have the mechanics. They have the skill that's required to execute on this comp, so we believe in the boys.
Beauty. Well, what a game to go out on with another week, obviously, to then get yourself prepped and ready for those best of 5. So wish you boys the best of luck, and we'll catch up then.
Cheers. Thank you. Have a good one.
Wow, I didn't see what happened mid, Skimmy, but that is an interesting pan to mid to come back to there. Kyosei pushed away at Tally level 2 to 1, so clearly just had control of the minions. Not sure if there was jungle involvement or early wards or movements from both of them respectively, but nevertheless there was a ward at Raptors that did show Arthur as he passed from red towards blue, and there is a ward at the opposing Raptors here as well. Gudo about to be spotted and pinged out. So both teams know where their junglers are very early into the piece, which means those first ganks are very difficult to execute on, and we know that Gudo loves a good bot gank.
Certainly does. I think we saw yesterday in the highlights going into their match, it was just literally a highlight reel of them playing the Lee Sin and consistently getting behind enemy lines and finding those ultimates to displace people. Yeah, serve them on a very easy platter for the team to capitalize on. And I think it's going to be interesting to see really where that first gank does come about, right? If they are going to be consistently spotted on vision, if there is that sort of game read as to where they're going to be here, most likely around this timing. If we are just going to play for a full clear and wait for those skirmishes later on.
Arthur is going to secure the bot. Scuttle will be spotted. They'll both know where the opposing jungler is yet again. Top Scuttle going to be uncontested. It looks like Lee Sin's going to do Krugs into reset, where the Viego doesn't really know what to do. I think he's going to just take a safe path towards top side. Maybe get the Scuttle. You can see Topper going to help with that one as well. And then go for the Krugs himself. And maybe one extra camp for Arthur. But at the end of the day, and we say this enough now, right? Double Scuttle's not game-changing anymore. It's not as pivotal as it used to be, where you could just be an absolute bandit, take double Scuttle Crabs, staunch through mid lane like an alpha and win the game. Suddenly it's a jungle gap, but definitely not the same this time.
Is certainly, though, going to help them with the vision leading into our previous point, right? You've got the entirety of bottom lane river lit up in your favor. Same now being applied top side. Protection for Tally first and foremost. Information for Tapoon to continue to play as aggressively as he is into the Gragas, and certainly should give them the idea of making that first move.
Gudo looking at Q over there to see if he can stop a reset. He doesn't have confirmation that he did, but he'll know in about a second when Tally shows back in mid lane. His bottom, Ignite.
Yeah, they're looking for it. An instant flash away. Shinky going to turn around with that one, as they are going to get locked in place by the Graviton, but not enough to get that kill. Bailet was there. They were anticipating a little bit more damage. But that's a wave that's about to crash.
Yeah, this is something we expected to see from the draft, right? You've got the Tahm Kench versus the Renata. As far as strength of supports are concerned, Tahm Kench is significantly stronger. No Ignite, no Flash there, though, for the Chiefs. They're missing 2 sums. Do they go?
Gonna look for this one. Yes, Draku goes in, hits the tongue lash, soaks up it all. Flash is out of range before that final shot would have taken him down. Oh, and across the wall he goes. Frost has no mana. He really wishes he could answer back. But at 5 minutes, first blood for Chiefs.
Yeah, Kyosei may be wishing he could teleport a little bit faster than that. I'm not sure if he was in the middle of a recall, but just wasn't able to get there in time. And Chiefs just execute the play, right? They say they can dive. They cleanly get the dive off. They use summoners to disengage, but that is so worth it. I think for Direwolves, they'll be happy that Frost is the one who is still alive. all things considered, to catch the wave as it is under the turret. But a huge start for the side of the Chiefs in the 2v2. Something that the draft did kind of dictate, but they play it brilliantly.
Great degree of confidence, first and foremost, right from Draku to make that play. Only at, what, level 3, level 4 to say, I'm going to take this one. I can soak it up with the fixed skin. That's going to be buffered up. There's the flash away. I'm going to get away unpunished. Great start, as you say. Now game on for Direwolves to find their moment back in. Before Tally does something like this, flashing forward, locking in place with a stun. Gudo straight on towards the rise, dashing across to the wall to make sure that they get their kill. They do indeed. Shinky low, not going to find that reset, can't get the health back. And they're going to answer one for it on this one. Zorenis, meanwhile, getting a solo kill topside as the fight continues here. Draco on the hunt to try and take out this Ari, but the blast cone disengages him away. Whoa. He flashes across the wall, and Arthur, by the skin of his teeth, somehow jukes that orb.
Frost going to get staunched out of bottom lane here as well. Needs to be very careful. Has to use the E over the wall. Gudo trying not to die to a Krug camp because he doesn't have smite just yet. Seems like he'll be fine, and as everything dissipates, as the dust settles on that fight, Arthur just comes out with the kill, with complete control, and even Summon is out of mid lane for good measure. And he's going to kick off the Drake.
That was a bit scary for a second, wasn't it?
Kill him?
He certainly seemed dangerous. Look at his health bar just deplete rapidly. Here comes Gudo. Jumps straight into the handshake, rips back Draku. And there's not much that Raze can do in this occasion.
Oh, we have to go back to the Drake. Show me the Drake. Oh. All right, he double smited. What I will say is I think he was about one hit and got a second smite off. But he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Bot lane was a nice kill. Gudo actually, I want to say, it's not cheesy, right? But instead of recalling, which was the perceived move of the jungler, which is the reason, by the way, that Arthur is soloing the Drake. We missed something top, didn't we?
This is what I wanted to see. Yes, there was a solo kill happening whilst that fight broke out around Raptors. So what's happened here? He's hit 6. He's just gone for a dive, or? No, not even that. To be...
Okay. Oh. I was going to say, maybe Zoranus didn't have the mana for the ultimate after his flash body slam, right? He must have been close. But just saves it for the execute. And Topman's still with the flash ready, so perhaps was surprised by that one also. But hey, well played. Zoranus gets the kill. That's something that can happen in a Gragas versus Nar matchup. And they're at it again.
They certainly are at it again. Sapoon answering back. Shaking across the wall there is Draku, but that's a phenomenal start really in the top lane individually, right? I mean, Sapoon is up so much CS. You've just solo killed the solo kill king.
Draku caught also here. On the hunt, Direwolves, Sonic Wave connected, Skimmy.
Yeah.
They've got the health advantage for this Herald fight if it were to happen, but Topoon is mega.
Certainly out of lanes, nice and early. Both teams hungry to entertain the idea of that skirmish.
They haven't cleared the ward right next to them.
A bit of poke, as is Kiyose. Waiting out this Mega, but then Tapu flashes in and hits it only onto one. They all pile drive in, and they take out Shinky. It's a 1-for-1, because Kiyose did manage to take out him in the process of all things considered. Out comes Arthur, he becomes Renate, and he gets kicked away to safety, as the charm across the wall there from Kiyose is not enough for lethal. Jonas had no mana, and Chiefs disengage.
Yeah, Chiefs will end up getting the fight. I mean, it's a little bit sitting there from Direwolves, 4 of them standing right next to the corridor entrance against a Mega Gnar. No one clearing the ward directly to the left of them. So it was very easy for Topoon to try and time it, but flashes in does actually get dealt with pretty handily by Direwolves. It's just the follow-up of the fight, right? The fact that Topoon's trading 1-for-1 still does, in essence, give Viego those resets, still makes the rest of the fight pretty straightforward here from the side of the Chiefs. Herald gets reset, but you can see all of the damage comes out. It's that 1-for-1. You've got the reset from Arthur. He'll be able to just take over Renate, hit the handshake, Rise ultimate as well, to make sure that Gudo has to walk towards the Viego. Just it tries to do something back, uses the last part of his ultimate, but nothing doing. And that's the mobility of the Chiefs just coming up trump.
Yes. Gudo going in and saying, well, I can't get the Herald, but I can steal your blue buff instead. Continues to get a little bit spicy up here at top. Tapu back to a bigger CS lead than it was before. Continues to be this pushed up. Certainly doesn't feel as if Zoranus is going to be feeling too threatened by this one. He's already found that first solo kill. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a second crack at things.
I do think there is a point where you're just not going to get those solo kills anymore as well. Gnar just becomes a little bit too much of a pest, but very early, there is still windows, right, where he is very killable. You know, fresh Mega, near a turret because Nard tends to push. Like this, you know, if that body slam hits, perhaps it's a different game. Ultimate's still not there for Zonus until now, though.
It's close.
He's keen. He's still full tank Gragas. There's just a lot of base damage that comes out of Gragas, which is why he's able to work in multiple roles every bloody season.
One of many champions that can fit that bill, isn't it? It's crazy. Comes Goodo. Back to mid lane, clearing out some vision. Arthur going to meet him. Bear in mind, Chiefs do have this Herald. Going to be spotted out there by the Sonic Wave. Mid lane is a little looking to try and battle things out. The stun does just expire. Out of range for that one, but he's copped a huge trade in the process.
Yeah, Tally has just straight up bodied Kyose there, pushing mid lane out. Has Arthur hovering, so knows with confidence how he's able to play the lane out. What he doesn't know is that Goodo is waiting for him until now.
Oh, instant flash kick, Charm under the tower, instant cleanse, run away. True shot price from bot lane! It wasn't lethal, but Kyose will claim those spoils instead. And it just seems crazy, the false sense of security that Tally had there, given that the rest of his team were invading.
Exactly right. Two people just hovering him right next to where Goodo comes from. Sonic Wave connects. It's a flash kick. It's a nice little play by Direwolves.
Oh, this time he lands it.
Yeah, Topoon very prepared. You may not be able to fool him more than once in a row. One solo kill against the solo kill leader of the LCO will be more than enough for Zoranus. Topoon going to continue to push and be an absolute pest. You know, one thing that stands out to me from this game, Skippy, is hold out.
Well, that stands out for me as well. Apparently, Rage just copped a huge handshake, and that wasn't a limp handshake. That was certainly strong arms all around.
I mean, that was actually really nice by Direwolves. We didn't see much of the lead up to that one. Topoon.
No time to break down analysis. Topoon going to go in for it in a 1v2. He says, I'm going to take you down. You can gank me, but I won't mind. Goodo's top, by the way, so Chiefs will find themselves the second Drake.
Yeah, that's with their AD carry dead. Tally just having so much priority in mid. Kyose not having that ultimate, even though he's 2-0s. That's a ghost. Keen.
Did we really expect anything else on the final day of group stages, right? There is no time to break down the finesse of the macro, the movements. It's all about go, go, go.
So Raze wasn't spotted. I think the only way he gets spotted here is if he places a ward in vision. Yeah, so he takes the fight. Gale forces forwards, does a lot of damage, I will say, but just gets handled and hand shook. Cheeky limit test, why not, hey?
No, why not? Here's my business card. How you going?
Just door knocking Mormon.
Yeah, he certainly is. Are you interested in win streaks?
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior 200 years of experience?
Join my pyramid scheme. Here we go, though. Definitely a case, though, for an early soul point. And Chiefs have been steadily achieving. Ocean Soul to top things off quite nicely in that regard. If we are going to be keeping all about fight, 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 then that Ocean Soul regen could come in very, very handy.
I've stopped keeping count, by the way, of Topoon's solos, but that was another one added to the list. We'll call it a 1v2, still a solo kill.
I wonder if he consciously is paying attention to the global stats. Maybe he watches back the VODs and hears us hyping him up and goes, okay.
Oh, I don't know. He's a very humble man. I'm not sure he listens to the casters.
Just has us on hard mute.
Or a little bit flamey sometimes. No, I don't think Topoon's the type of person who would consider something like the solo kills. Maybe quietly to himself, but
sure.
He's a gentle giant up in the top lane, Mr. Topoon.
Curious to see what that next piece of action does take place, though, because it just feels like we've been locked cam in this exact position all day topside. Goodo, would you believe it, is back in bot lane, his second home if it isn't the jungle. He's looking to make a play happen, whilst Arthur says, I can do the same, but go mid instead. Opens up with a stun, forces out the Spirit Rush. And Kyose has just been absolutely annihilated by Viego.
Yeah, the Divine Sunder is there from Arthur. Lots of damage now coming out of the Viego, even compared to someone like Kyose who doesn't have the Mythic completed. Arthur is a very big boy running around on this Viego. You know, one thing as well, you mentioned Goodo, while he is now Alcove Gaming yet again, he's been ganking everywhere this game. Very active, finds a kill in mid, finds a kill top lane, at least it was a trade back. And has only recently returned back to bottom lane where, you know, the past week or two, we've only really seen success ganking bot. He's diversified the portfolio. He's looking pretty good lately. I would actually say maybe the last 3 weeks of Gudo has been the most improved in the entire LCO.
You certainly have a shoe in for it. I think it's going to be a really tough ask to figure out who was the definitive most improved, right? Because if we break it down into individual categories like that.
Is it still the Tim Carbon Wendell most improved?
Oh, is it? That's very true.
We gave it to him multiple splits in a row because he was just constantly improving and then dropping off at the start of a split. But boy, he'd improve between.
Now he's the head honcho of the league, isn't he? So, got to appease him. You see his video before?
Yeah, he's got some
by the
nasty
way?
kicks on him.
He certainly does. At least in IRL.
Actually,
He's
though.
certainly looking at Gudo, isn't he? Saying, come on, mate.
Could make a carbon skin for Lee Sin. Honestly, someone should Photoshop him and do it.
I'm waiting for it, surely.
I don't want to activate the masses, but that would be very funny.
Bouncer from the fans have ever heard one. We've certainly slowed down things a little bit. 40 seconds, and the next Drake to look forward to might be the reason that teams are taking their time, biding their moments to find that next power spike. Mythics are steadily coming through, soon to be completed by everybody.
And I do feel like it's just going to be a Drake Soul type of game here from the Chiefs, business as usual. Their skirmishing is very good if it's on their terms as well, right? The ability to Tahm Kench engage, have the Rise ultimate for engage as well, get those resets on a Viego, who is super fed. It should be super straightforward from the side of the Chiefs. It's Dials that need to make some extra steps here, right? Right now, their lane assignment's very difficult to help get onto the map for Kyose. He is the one. Oh, Orinus.
Oh, explosive cask. It's not. No, it is. It is enough. It's ramped up far too much. They're just having an absolute biff at it with that one. Kyose very lucky to dodge out of the Everfrost, so he was a goner as well.
Carroll going to get summoned in mid lane, so the Chiefs just... I mean, top was a 1-for-1. The ult mid.
Oh, Moonlight Vigil comes across, splashes onto 2. Instantly Frost comes to bail out, but it's not enough. He's just evaporated. He can't find a reset. He can't find the regen.
Teleports in from the flank as well from Kyose, but no ultimate there, so it does seem like Skimmy, they're just going to disengage. You still got the Drake to look towards as well, and Tally's going to take an entire outer turret. So I briefly touched on this, but the fact that Kyose is the one who's having a really hard time getting to plays, didn't want to commit a teleport to any kind of advance from Direwolves, actually face checks Tally as they fight for vision, and just a 1v1 between mid laners, once again actually, you know, pushes Kyose out of the fight, and it seems like if you want to beat the Direwolves, you really just need to keep Kyose down. He is such a major proponent of their success in team fights.
I really feel like we've seen a few teams, you know, on the up have a big dependence around the strength of their mid lane, right? I mean, we saw the initial game between these two, and it was when Kyose came out with the 0-8 Ahri, and we said, well, that's not the Ahri that we know from him, but certainly up against a strong opponent. You can't really second guess him on that occasion. Coming up to this one, though, and, you know, down in CS to be expected from the pressure that Tally's putting out, but certainly finding those moments to strike. As Chiefs once again go on the hunt, looking for Shinky, instant flash away, very swishes around, backs himself up. There's the Kyose charm to connect with. Look at Renis on the flank, a flash body slam is certainly there, and there it is. Cast goes out, split them apart, not to be enough though, he's split from the rest of his team, and he is just going to get pounced upon and claimed as a Viego soul.
I mean, the Gragas tries to be a sacrifice for the rest of his team, but Shinky's still falling. This Renata not really having any kind of impact so far in the game. Does make you wonder if they really did just fall short in their draft phase with pick ban. Renata obviously doesn't have the strongest lane, but they were being dove 2v2 from like level 3. Now it really has just continued along that trajectory now, 0 and 4 running around. Very easy pickings for the Chiefs composition also. You know, with no mobility there, really just a handshake to rely on. We'll see how this starts again. It's Gudo behind enemy lines at the red buff. Shinky doesn't have the same mobility that Gudo does. And will just get steadily run down by the Mega Gnar on the follow through here. Zoradus with a wide flank. Actually flash body slam ults them all. And just dies because the rest of Direwolves were disengaging. So perhaps a battle of two halves there, but one half was running and the other half tried to make a montage.
You just can't help but think that there's two different communication going on in comms, right? That, you know, I'm seeing an angle, I'm seeing that flash body slam. We all saw it, he's seeing it, he wants to go for it. The rest of the team saying, no, just peel away. This is not what we're after. And ultimately, yeah, did fall on down for that one. Shinky certainly lucky to be alive given how compromised he was from that blast cone disengage away. Really happy with this one ultimately. So down by 4,000 gold at the 20-minute mark. Bounty's starting to come across in their favor to claim if they can get an invitation towards that one. Chiefs still with 3 dragons to play for. You touched on it before, feeling like this could be a Dragon Soul game, but that's 2.5 minutes away. And Chiefs are going to take their time to find the first 3 turrets.
That should be very easy for them to find that. You've got Kyose visibly charming minions to last hit them. Gudo wants to have a crack.
Across the wall, he's still chasing. Flash kick and the root. There's the Berserk. Gobbled up by Draku as he disengages away with a dive and is successful in doing so, but Arthur gets taken down. It's a shutdown. All goes across. Kyose doesn't have the damage just yet, especially not when the mitigation is there. Raze in Narnia doing his own thing.
So is Tapu.
Same with Tapoon. They don't really care what's happening to the other 3 because they're just winning the game on their own.
That was 1 kill for 2 inner turrets. Baron is going to be started here by Direwolves. They feel desperate, right? You have to make a play now. The transaction has gone so negative. Control will spot it. It's at 5,000 health. Tally's on a flank. Dragq at risk.
Draku might be dead right off the bat here. Very lucky to be alive. Menulog Vigil comes across. Battle onto Kyose. Can he find a kill? No. Evaporates, expires. Dead and gone. The Baron is there. It's going to be claimed here by the side of Direwolves. But the expense, if it wasn't high before, by losing those turrets, you've now given across Raze a triple kill. And you have lost all but 1 of those Baron buffs.
And I mean, the game for Direwolves just completely capitulates in a singular moment. They try to make a play top lane. The ultimate, I mean, mechanically it was good from Direwolves, right? We're not going to fault the mechanical execution of the pick that happened top lane. It's the decision to make it in the first place. When they don't have waves set up anywhere else on the map, they suffer greatly from it and they try and double down, which again is a decision almost of desperation. It's just the best course of action they had. And how easy it is for the Chiefs to just get there, react and respond. Teleports in, however, for Tally.
Oh, he's low on tools though. He doesn't have a flash. He doesn't have an ultimate. He's trying to sidestep as much as he can. Easier said than done. He's fighting a losing battle, and ultimately Frost comes in to snipe away that kill. Huge for him to continue keeping pace with this crypt build of Philios. Obviously, you can power spike cheaply, but when you look at the scoreboard and you see what he has, you're going to be a little bit terrified. Let's run it back though with this Baron fight.
Yeah, Draco actually face-checking Kyose here. Just not enough damage to be purely lethal, and the handshake misses. Kyose 0 health left. Raze just blasts them, has the blue guns out. Gale forces forwards. Did so much damage with the ultimate there as well, and that really is all she wrote. Direwolves do still have Baron on 1 member. They did get the 550 gold off Tally as well, and they'll get the turret bounty there of an extra 200 or 250. And they're hunting.
Look at them go, flashing forward. Arthur buffering it with his ultimate to make sure he's not going to get caught out of place. Raze flashing also, the respect shown, the turnaround straight onto the Gragas. Moonlight Vigil comes across, splits them apart. He's got multiple chakrams, but he needs to get in range. He's already burnt those escape tools.
On a big flank. This Narc could be huge.
He's got the flash as well, Rusty. He might just flash into the river like this. Shoves 2 into the wall, and they turn straight on towards Frost. Delete him as the hostile taker comes across, but it doesn't do anything as Raze finds himself a double. The answer back, the turnaround. And the case of ending this one with a bang.
Shinky in a supportal combat situation here. If I was Arthur, I let the supports duke it out 1v1, but he's a greedy boy. Meanwhile, Kyose.
Yep, they really are ants fleeing.
Oh no.
And Tapoon says, you may be the breaker of ankles, but I can dodge skill shots too. And claims him for a 24-minute ace.
Tapoon is the solo kill monster this game. I don't know how many he's got, but a lot of them have been 1-for-1 trades. Either way, Chiefs will be able to break the inhibitor. No chance Frost can stop this one. 5-1 jungler. No real risk of being killed by that Ezreal anytime soon. The Renata ultimate, I think that was the first one, Skimmy, that was genuinely good, right? It hit many targets, but it is just an Aphelios hitting a bunch of beefcakes. Yeah. So they're okay. They'll walk away, and they'll just continue the team fight as per normal. Business as usual. Top-in jumps in. Team fight's won because Frost is caught. It's stunned completely, 1 hit. And yeah, you can see they're all berserk, but a locket comes out, no one takes damage. Well played by Draco in particular. And then it really is just a case of catch the stragglers as they disperse and flee. A nice little W flash combo there. Not much to highlight in this replay, they're just killing them.
Yeah, catch the Teemo, really, wasn't it? find them all sprawled around the map. And, well, big lead now found here by the Chiefs. Up by 8,000 gold. They've just picked up the Ocean Soul as well at 25 minutes, so a very early soul point to talk about as well. They've opened up 2 inhibitors inside the base of the Direwolves. A lot of lane pressure, as they might look to try and play textbook League and go for the third by going top.
To be able to defend this now against the Ocean Soul is nigh impossible. Chiefs admittedly don't have a lot of hope, right? So they don't have a lot of reasons to actually have the Ocean Soul proccing before combat. But of course, in the combat, there'll be plenty of extra healing. I don't think a champion like a Viego needs that. I don't think Topoon does either with his consistent 1v1s against the tank in top lane. This game becomes pretty much unstoppable for the Chiefs side. It'll require mistakes from them for Direwolves to capitalize and get anything back.
Waves may not be synced, but there is pressure inside their base. Topoon in line with the mid lane. Tally bot side escorting those supers in once again. They're putting pressure on towards these Nexus turrets whilst top lane is being collapsed upon with this next wave to try and find that third inhibitor. And it really is game on for Direwolves, fighting a losing battle here. What do? They need to pull the switch at some stage.
I mean, Topoon cycles Mega. You would expect hits it as a wave is crashing top lane. Tally now here to threaten as well. You can Rise Ultimate a Mega Naren if you wanted. They've got flexibility, they've got options, they've just got so much threat to stop Raze from hitting this turret. So difficult.
Yeah, just the threat of what Topoon could do there is a little bit too much. Just out of range from the Moonlight Vigil connecting there by Raze. But it was a zone, and it was a guarantee that third inhibitor will fall on down. That next turret hanging on by a knife's edge as Sully cycles through the flux and pumps damage into Ezreal. Out comes the Devour nice early into Arthur, who's already down to 50%. He's going to really rely now on the Ocean Soul to top him up. No doubt with the Death Stance as well. Plenty of regen with those takedowns to be found. One Nexus turret before that GG condition is there. Gudo goes in, but he can't find a flash kick. He's kicked the wrong target, unable to try and displace him. In goes Topoon, slamming the whole team into their own base. And now falls back into the fountain at 28 minutes. Chiefs surely looking to be the victor here. It will take a miracle to defend this one, but Frost is going to try. He finds a shutdown, he dies for it. As Tally flashes into their fountain to take down Gudo in the process. It's a barn burner at the finishing line with the minions ending it all. And Chiefs finishing their season 19-2.
I mean, Tally considering a Rise Ultimate with some minions in there to try and get some extra kills at the very end, but it is still just an easy dub for the side of the Chiefs. They are our first place team in the regular season for a reason, minor premiers for a reason. And you got to see that displayed there. A couple of limit tests here and there, you know, just having some fun on the map, but this is against another playoffs team, Skimmy, and it still just felt like another day in the office for them. They're a completely different breed.
They certainly are, and I think we heard it from the players also going into this one, right? How do you really view this playoffs going? I think the big question mark for us with Direwolves is we know they're a team that can certainly land some hits, but this will be their first time for the players, for the coaches, being in a playoff situation. So yes, they can look strong in best of ones, but best of fives are a whole different category. And, you know, is that when the experience factor really comes into play, Mac?
Have to tell you that is what it looked like there, right? Like, even when Direwolves were making really good plays, they were rotating together as teams, they were securing kills, you could see that just macro-wise, Chiefs were all over it. Even though they managed to get that bounty off of Arthur, you had Tally, or Raze rather, pushing in mid, you had Topoon putting in a lot of effort down towards bot as well, and it just made it so damn hard. And then look, even though they got the Baron off the back of it, they got absolutely no value because the ace came through. You're looking at the difference in health bars, but just look, Raze had such a solid early game, which meant he was able just to absolutely tear him apart here. You know, it's a lot going on this game. There was like moments, especially towards the early game, that allowed Chiefs to sort of get that early lead, and then it resulted in Raze doing a little bit of limit testing, but the man was never worried because even when the scoreline in terms of the kills up the top looked close, the gold was still in favor of Chiefs, and they seemed to be in control of every situation, even if it might not have looked that way. With a lot of the blue side getting what they needed done on the Rift, objectives as well. There was like a couple of fights where there were like one-to-one trades, And then it resulted in a Dragon for Chiefs. It resulted in a Herald for Chiefs. And it was just all those little sort of, 1%, 5% things that could have gone either way. And it just kept on going Chiefs' way. And it turned into a pretty easy looking W. Only one tower taken by Direwolves as well. So, look, all things considered, that was a great attempt from Direwolves. You can see what they're capable of, but they've only got an extra week before jumping into their first playoffs game, so they really need to sort things out going into those best of fives, Rusty.
Yeah, I think they just got really hard done in bot lane, right? Like, mechanically, Direwolves didn't feel like they were completely out of their depth, right? Like, there was solid plays from Zoranus, there was solid plays from Goodo as well. I think that Kyose got pretty well tracked by Tally on Ryze, to be honest. Like, it was a bit of a clinic from Ryze in mid lane, but
yeah,
Bot was getting solo killed. They had no pressure, and that does so much work for opening up the map for the Chiefs that it felt very simple for them to play around that.
It certainly does feel simple when you're watching Chiefs just run away with the game time after time, doesn't it, Kitty? Now, look, I know you've got someone for that winner's interview. Did you enjoy the game? Are you happy you got your prediction correct?
Well, I actually thought I was going to get it wrong because I believe that Dials were 7-5 against Chiefs around the 10-minute mark. So I was monka-essing for my life. But someone who I'm sure stayed cool throughout that entire game was Raze. So let's bring him in for some questions. So Raze, congrats on finishing this split with only 2 losses. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling happy about finishing with, only 2 losses. We did want to clean up the split with, I don't know, the 16 win streak if we beat PGG yesterday, but just we had a really hard to execute comp and throw a few times with that early game comp and we just lost. So.
That's okay. It's better losing now than it's better to lose in the playoffs. But let's talk about your Aphelios. So Aphelios is a champion that needs a lot of good positioning and knowing when to DPS. So what's the most important mechanic for ADC mains to actually be able to influence the outcome of team fights?
Just waiting, just being patient. You don't want to, at the end of the game, I knew Gragas still had flash, and that's why, I ended up dying to his, E-flash, but I was just, waiting patiently. The only way we lose is to get, I die. Lee Sin and Gragas were, really wanting to kill me at the end there, but I just respected, and eventually they lost, so, if you ever hit as AD carry, just be patient, and the enemies will, screw up trying to focus you.
I will tell that to my solo queue ADCs next time I get them. Well, as we head into playoffs, are there any players that you are looking out for specifically that is going to be a contender for Chiefs?
I have to say the only contender in playoffs would be Balkan from PGG. Every other team, I'm not really worried about any other player or team, but as long as we keep Balkan locked down, we're gonna win, sure.
And we know about the Chiefs-PGG rivalry. What would you say would be Chiefs' main advantage as we head into playoffs?
Everything. 5 better players, smarter players, better team fighters. Just everything, honestly. They just got us on a bad day, but when it comes to playoffs, we're not going to lose.
Well, please say thank you to Arthur, getting some good nods in there. I'm going to let you go, Raze, and hopefully we do see you perform just as good during the playoffs. And like you said, just be the better team.
Thank you.
That's all I saw going on in the background. Just Arthur, he has been, is it even photobombing these days? What is it? He's just putting his bloody mug there.
He's just staunching in the background, isn't he?
That's it, folded arms, just, 5 better players. Full of confidence, even in the background of the Chiefs' house there. So we'll see how that evolves going into next week. Of course, they get to sit on the sidelines for that first game before their playoffs game because it looks like they have locked in first damn seed. So congrats to Chiefs for doing so. Minor premiers after that dub. But let's have a talk about the Dare MVP. I think there's going to be absolutely no surprises that it was that man on your screen, not Arthur. It was, in fact, Race. The man front and center, and he's doing that as well. Pistols up, finger guns, just absolutely blasting up a storm there. 8, 2, and 5. And he's just, even though the stats don't look over the top for this, just macro-wise, he was doing it all, wasn't he, Rusty?
I mean, at the end of the day, he may have 2 deaths. One of them was a limit test, right? So otherwise, 8, 1, and 5 with a death just to see if he could in there. He played very well. I think all of the Chiefs played very well, to be perfectly honest with you, right? My takeaway from this game is they were having some fun, but when it came to crunch, they were always one step ahead. And there was no particular standout player, so as deserving as the rest of the squad for the Dare MVP.
Yeah, very good game from all of them. So honourable mention for the other 4 players, but Raze, he just got the bigger dub than the rest of them. Their MVP. Now, let's jump on into From the Fans. We didn't get to do it in the pre-show because we were having too much fun with everything else. So let's have a look at some of these submissions, but it is the best moments from the split. And look, that has to be one of my favourite. When Kitty absolutely nailed the Aussie accent. Whoever the social media guy is was doing a dirty, saying, oh, that wasn't the best, but look, in comparison to that first attempt you had, that was beautiful. 1,000% increase in performance, Kitty. And look, if you want to do another one, we can do one shortly. But let's jump on in and see what submissions we've got so far. Make for pronouncing sand correctly. Glad Kitty thinks Pinky's little pink nose is too. So that was Stickman Sand. I believe he had a flip there. So let's have a quick look at that before we figure out what's going on here. We have one more? We do. Okay, Stickman Sand. What have we got? Pinky the Cat and Gabe and B Bunny. Left to right. Adopt, don't shop. Oh, well there you go. So Stickman Sand with a nice little family of fur friends. Kitty, you're a cat person. Great Pinky the Cat. How's that hut? Is that looking pretty comfy?
I'm loving the fact that the cat's name is Pinky and it has a little cute pink nose. It's so cute.
So there you go. From the fans, not only getting on once, but twice there for Stickman Sand. Of course, that's his favourite moment because his pets got a little bit of the limelight, bit of the spotlight. Now, I believe you have one more to quickly jump on into as well. Before, of course, we jump on in break. So let's have a look at what this one is. What's 1 + 1? She says
1. Well, I'm sure someone that can answer you is Prated, so let's bring him in for the interview. So, Prated, what is 1 + 1?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I give up. 1 + 1. Can't do that.
I
Wake
love
up at 5 p.m. mechanics only.
Absolutely love his reaction sometimes. Prated's got it all. Kitty, did you go and hit the homework? Did you go and hit the books? Do you know what 1 + 1 is now?
All right, so here's how you do hot math. So it's 1 + 1.
Yep.
Oh it's 1. It's facts now. I'm sorry. It's just 1. That's just how logic. I only have 1 index finger. I don't have 2 index
I feel like
fingers.
we're in a philosophy debate, and I don't want to engage.
I am sitting here and I'm leaning back.
What
I'm
is
not in the
going
right
on?
state of mind to understand.
That was absolutely magical, Kitty. Just like Doctor Strange 2, into the multiverse, into the metaverse, whatever it is. Multiverse of Madness is what it's called. So that's going to be a banger. I did watch the recent Spider-Man the other day, and there was a little bit of Doctor Strange going on in that. So, look, if you haven't watched that, make sure you watch that before you go and watch the new one. But, of course, that's thanks to Circles.life. They're giving away tickets to 5 exclusive screenings around the country, and you can go with your friends, you can go on your own, you can give me the tickets, and I can go with your friends to go and watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, exclamation Strange in the chat to go in the running for that competition, and make sure you do it because I don't think it's too long before that movie comes out as well. So, you know, also, remember, DM me if you win, and I'll say congratulations, and then maybe whisper in your ear, give me the tickets.
Oh.
But much more like erotically than that. Maybe? Depends on what you want. Anyway,
where's
if
Jess?
you don't want the tickets, give them to me. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to give you some more action because we got a second game around the corner. Let's have a look at what it's going to be. Order and Mammoth coming up.
Spotted. It's at 5,000 health. Tally's on a flank. Dracula at risk.
Like to be dead right off the bat here. Very lucky to be alive. Menulog Vigil comes across. Bailout secure. Can he find a kill? No. Evaporates and spies. Dead and gone. The Baron is there. It's going to be claimed here by the side of Direwolves. But the expense, if it wasn't high before, by losing those turrets, you've now given across Raze a triple kill.